Hey guys, Dark Humility here with yet another Season 7 closed beta mini guide and demo. We have here a Whirlwind Barb like you've never seen him before. He's essentially a charged paladin with holy fire, but he uses Whirlwind. And, well, Whirlwind passes through everything instead of charging only at the front monsters, so you can imagine how much damage this thing can do. Now, the damage values aren't quite as high, but he cuts through everything like butter. Using 2 Flamebellows, a dragon or an Ormus or a Corpsemore. I think those are the primary choices here. And you're getting insanely high Holy Fire aura level. Now, of course, you don't have the actual synergies for this, nor do you have Fire Mastery, but with enough fire facets and percent fire damage in addition to negative res, you will be melting monsters like nothing. Absolutely like nothing. So let's check out this build and show you guys how it works. You're going to want enough strength to wear your gear, enough dex to make sure you have at least 10,000 attack rating in between that and your skills, and the rest of the points into vitality. With res as close to max as you can get is ideal. You're going to want as much elemental pierce and as much percent fire damage as possible, as you can see. Very important here. FHR is nice if you stop whirlwinding, but for the most part, it's perfectly good. And at least some sources of leech are definitely very, very important. You can also have even more leech if you want to use ethereal versions of these weapons, but you will lose some of the actual fire damage itself, so it's kind of up to you how you want to do that. But that is indeed the case. We also have a max battle command, which I like because it gives you just straight up extra plus skills, which are really good for this build. I put a lot of skills into points into defensive skills as well, because you really don't need a lot of damage from your actual skills. You max out Whirlwind. Frenzy can provide some quality of life as well, and then of course you can have Leap. Frenzy definitely can increase your movement speed in between packs especially, so that's really nice. And then make sure you get your attack rating with your general mastery and your Whirlwind. Alright, that's pretty much it, honestly. And then the Mercenary, I use Blessed Aim because you really need that attack rating. Blessed Aim Act 2 seems to be the way to go. And then of course Conviction Aura for the negative 34 enemy fire res, which is 85 on LOD. But yeah, anyway, lots of negative enemy res. You will also get some more percent damage as well from the resist fire aura that is on you, so having Flickering Flame on the Merc is ideal. This just helps with the leech and the little bit of physical damage you do as well with Templars. And Enchant also will give you some bonus fire damage, and having that on Lava Gout and the Mercenary is just a bonus. This is the crux of the build. 2 Flamebellows and a Dragon, or an Ormus or Corpsemore. I think Ormus is probably the best choice out of all these, but we'll show off different gear setups here. The negative enemy fire res is kind of nuts here. You also get the cannot be frozen in res. You want as much negative enemy res as possible. That's kind of the theme of putting these fire facets in Ormus, Kira's, or Corpsemore, which also gives you flat fire damage, which does scale with the Holy Fire, so it's really good. You're obviously going to also want to use the Rising Sun as well for more fire damage, negative enemy fire is, and things of that nature. Leech is good. This is just mostly for AR and Leech and things of that nature, getting DR, helping out your physical damage a little bit, but then the negative enemy fire res is really the key stat there. You could honestly just use like res boots or something. Grandfather's just for bowing if you want. Very nice. And then if you're ever using auras on yourself that are granted from an item, typically these percent damage charms are almost always going to be the way to go. It also works the same way for procs as well. Of course, you're going to want a B-Torch, an Annie, and that charm as well. So, yeah, this build is kind of nuts. I honestly think this build is stronger than normal Whirlwind. You guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I've never built this before. Give full credit to all those before me that have built this. The ore level of these was increased, I think, in Season 6, and honestly, this is just me discovering this because I never thought the ore level can get high enough without synergies to actually do damage. Here we are. Summons on. Yeah, we can definitely do summons on. Look at that. That is pretty insane, right? With Dragon, of course, the tick is more devastating because the level of the Holy Fire Ore is insanely high. Look at this damage. My goodness. Yeah, it's pretty bonkers stuff here. Well, I think open wound stacks every time like Thorns is applied or your own damage is applied, so it would make sense that Thorns would do something there. And as you can see, it doesn't really matter what we decide to use to do this. I think Ormus is even better. You can kind of see it. It really shreds. Damage is really absurd with this. This is just crazy clear speed. It's one of the hidden gems of Project Diablo 2 Season 7 here. My god. This is cows, mind you. Really high HP. Normally Whirlwind can't clear them quite this fast, but yeah, it's clearing them at breakneck speeds here. No. I know all you guys are waiting for like the tier list and the videos, but you just have to wait a little longer. And the reason why is that the beta is not actually done. So want to make sure the things that we do post are as accurate as possible. While the betas are live, they make changes right to the game. Evening. They push them through. I mean, it's a lot of fire facets, but you're right. It's not particularly expensive, no. See, one thing you can do is you can use Frenzy, like I mentioned before. And kind of charge it up. Yeah, it just shreds through like all the monsters, like no problem. Now, one map that is notoriously difficult for builds.
I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp.
Wemo! So much for the follow. Welcome to the cult, Xana and Drew say. One build that is just, one map that is notoriously difficult is Tomb of Zilton Pool. There are no fire immunes in here. And as we'll show here in a second, you can absolutely shred this place. Absolutely gone, man. It's gonna be gone, man. You can see our attack rating is nice and healthy. You can also throw on the corpse morn as well. You can see having that life leech is definitely keeping us alive here. I don't think that DPS on the meter is accurate. I don't think it's actually like detecting my damage properly. See, Corpse Morn is giving us a lot of damage as well. sheet damage goes up. Corpse Horn is really good because it has that flat fire damage, like we mentioned before. And really, it pretty much just one-shots everything. And in a map like this, while being able to maintain your health for the most part. You can just swim through the monsters, burning them to death. The only problem is the mercenary gets left behind, so... Let's see here. Stacking up the frenzy bit. The old frenzy. Let's do that. So obviously you can go a little faster. You can put more points into frenzy if you really want to take advantage of this as well. Anyway, this place gets melted. Also, what's interesting is with Corpse Horn, you also spawn those animates as returns, which does draw some of the monster fire, so that's really cool. I know. Got like a whole army following me. It's pretty cool. Anyway, really insane damage. Really insane damage. The sheet damage isn't very impressive, but you gotta remember there's all that negative res. Oh, we could have talked to Geet, I guess.
Good afternoon.
Not really, because like the actual damage isn't super high and it doesn't rely on things like crushing blow and whatnot, but it's okay. It's more for like mapping. Yeah, it's definitely more for mapping, I would say. It's a good question, though. Yeah, we can definitely redo summons on. That could be interesting, right? And then I guess we can do Zeal Sorceress. We could try various types of Zeal Sorceresses. See if we can get one to work better than what shows on the tier list currently. Let's use all the classic approaches, so we'll try some of the non-classic approaches, I suppose.
Yes?
Some of you guys really like Summons On. That is a cool build. We tested it a lot last season when they were doing a lot of changes to it. We Fortify a map too, though. We'll demo this real quick and then GG. Hopefully you guys are convinced. If you're not, though, it's totally fine. As you can see, though, Fortified gets crushed. Just takes a little bit longer. Kind of crazy how much damage this does. Hey, that's what we should do. We should just slap on some Flamebellows and go to town. Lead Barb is very good, yeah. The new AoE on it is very fun. New AoE on it is very fun. You'll notice here that my boss damage is not particularly incredible. Yeah. He's definitely surviving. Also doesn't take forever though. Then again, that was also a Fortified boss, so I mean, that's pretty fast for Fortified, right? Not breakneck speed, but it's pretty fast. Double monster HP, double experience, double loot, half density, and 20% monster damage. Is Fortified, if you don't know. That's a mechanic from Season 6. That's what those orbs are that I'm purchasing from Anya. If you don't know how to imbue your map with Fortified, that is how you do it. Once again. And GG! That is it for this one. I will see you guys on the next installment. Watch them all if you can. Make it a challenge. Or don't. And then, of course, you know, have fun choosing a build in the season. It is an awesome season with tons of insane builds. So yeah, check it out, and see you guys next time.